it's a concept we're working on. We're working on that with you.
Working on a lot of concepts.
See, now I can hear my distance. I can see why this could be helpful. I just really hope we don't look like how I think I look.
You look fine.
Like Mickey?
Also, this is exactly how last week started with you going, I hope I don't look like a fool, and me telling you look fine.
Yeah. And then how did that turn out?
I look like a fucking fool.
No, you didn't.
Okay, our promo videos, though?
Pretty solid.
They were solid, but it was...
Okay. Thanks, babe. Sweetie, love you.
So, David, not the first or second clap, the third clap, but the fourth clap is for a different camera.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, we got 3 cameras now.
3 cameras, you guys.
One, right, Matt.
3 cameras.
We got you.
1 producer.
We got you.
1 beautiful makeup artist.
And Matt, go. We got you
We got you.
No, I was saying, let's do it. Like, we got you.
You.
We got you.
You.
And
me.
you got to point at your camera, dumbass.
And then we got you.
We got us.
We got us.
Remember that song Mom used to make us sing?
What
it was
song?
always around like Christmas time.
Have patience.
No.
Oh, the song she'd make us sing when we would drive somewhere together?
What is that song called?
Well, we always did the song that got canceled last year. Baby, it's cold outside.
No. Babe.
Babe. I got you, babe.
Yeah, I hate that song so much.
Hey, you know what song we love, though?
What is that?
Our intro. David, roll it. I'm Drumm.
I'm Drummer.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Week 54.
Week 54, guys. That's 5 times 5 times 5, which is... Wait, hold on. 25, 5 times 25, 10. Wait, no, 25.
Just add from 25.
That's 75.
Just go 25 times 2, that's 50.
25 times 2, that's 50. 50 plus 4, 54, guys. That's 54 episodes now. 54 times you guys have heard our voice do the same exact thing, and I still can't count.
But this is the first time that you are seeing our set, and you're seeing us as we're doing this. So
it's
welcome.
Just a little bit of us.
Just a little bit of us,
you know?
Welcome back to the podcast, you guys. Drum and Drummer, a podcast about brotherhood and the 3 S's. Self-improvement.
Stories.
And the supernatural. And as always, we are your hosts. I'm Drumm.
And I'm Drummer.
And welcome back. Dalton, David, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, we've talked about all the stuff behind you, right? You want to give a tour of your set?
A tour of the set. Dalton. Dude, hey, it's kind of like MTV Crib style.
Okay.
I'm going to knock, and then you just give me a tour. But you got to make sure to show me where the magic happens.
Okay,
There's another promo for us. Do it like MTV Cribs.
That's literally what I just said.
You know what, David? I really appreciate your enthusiasm for this one, but we're just going to talk about it real quick, okay? Because we are a podcast.
All right.
So I'm going to knock.
Hey, welcome to my crib. That was the door. That was the door unlocking. Hey, what's up, man? Welcome to my crib.
Hey, give me a tour of your set.
All right, so here's the set. We have our droid. So, remember, guys, last time we talked, maybe like a week or 2 ago, we talked about my B1 battle droid being 3D printed by my producer, David. And now, David has officially got the head done. So, we're displaying that for now. I still have some work I got to do on it.
Is it a good head?
It's probably the best head I've ever gotten. It's honestly really nice. And we got my 3D printed Obi-Wan lightsaber that my friend Mitchell did for me, which is very nice. And then we got some 49er decorations. Our Drum and Drummer logo, custom made. And custom built by D-Rod Likes to Print.
We were gifted this by D-Rod Likes to Print. So go follow him on Instagram.
Thank you, D-Rod.
Everybody's allowed to follow him except for me.
Yeah, no, that's a rule that has lasted throughout the years.
So David has his main account, which is D-Rod Likes to Party.
Of course.
But then he has all these like hobbies that he picks up along the way, and he makes new accounts for them. D-Rod likes to paint. D-Rod likes to draw. D-Rod likes to print. D-Rod likes to skateboard. D-Rod likes to hula hoop. D-Rod likes to tattoo.
You made one that you still haven't told me about.
I could totally see David doing tattoos at some point, by the way.
It's not done yet. I'm working on something. That'll come later. That's a surprise for everybody.
That's in the future.
I'm so excited for that. But when David made D-Rod Likes to Draw, I found it. It was like on like the suggested for you, right? So I found it and I click it, and then I like send him a screenshot of it or something. He sends me back this message like, "Hey, bro, I like that's super cool that you found it, but like, can you not follow it because I don't want I want it to be private for me, and I only want the people on like my Reddit crew. I only want them to like see it." So I was like,
Our Reddit fam?
Yeah, my Reddit fam.
We all got those. It's fine.
He's all, I only want them to see it. I'm like, I mean, like, all right, like, I thought I was your best friend, but I guess, like, you know, if that's what you want, cool, I'm all for it. So then, like, 2 days goes by, and he goes, all right, so everybody found it, and they followed it, so I guess you can follow it. And I'm like, no, fuck you.
So you were, like, one of the first ones to find it then, right?
I was. Rachel started following it, so then that popped up on my feed, and I found it.
That makes sense.
But then he's just, you know, he just finds a way to brand everything that he does.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's good. I mean,
respect.
D-Rod is a good name. I feel like it really works for him on both aspects of how you think about it. So I'm cool with it.
That is true.
Yeah.
But he did print us this sign, beautiful logo, and I feel like it very much is just puts it all together.
It really did. It was that last piece of the puzzle that we were looking for. We were thinking about putting up a flag, but this is 10 times better.
1,000% better.
For sure. And then drummer, we got our little Niner totem up top, and then we got some of our favorite quarterbacks on our other side. So it's Niner love, drummer love, and Star Wars love all in one.
All in one. I feel like that pretty much sums us up.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty good. I mean, you don't really know a lot about Star Wars, but it's fine. But we've been working on that with you, so
you know about the same.
Well, it's the last week of November, which means it's the last week of Matt's monthly challenge.
Is this really the last week of November?
Dude, November flew by.
Not anymore. I'm
What
cutting
the
that out.
hell was that?
I have something like stuck right there, and I had to like get it
blow
out.
it.
No, it's fine. I'm on camera. It's fine.
Take the beginning of the sentence again.
Oh no, you don't have to cut it out. It's fine. I don't
Okay.
care.
Yeah, last week of November flew by, and I'm honestly, I don't know how I feel about the mustache life. One, I feel like my mustache grows very slow. Like I was expecting week 3 for there to just be like a bunch of it, and it just hasn't panned out that way. And I kind of like my beard better. I don't hate mustache.
I like
Matt.
your beard much better too.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'll probably keep the mustache.
When
then.
he shaves his face, oh, dude, he looks like such a baby. Like he instantly goes from like 26, 25, 20, 26 to like 14 in a matter of like one shave. Even with the mustache, you still look like a baby. Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't work. Doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
You know what it did work for, though? Oh, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say I really want him to grow it out just to have him do the curls.
Dude,
on
I don't
the
know.
end.
I
That's
honestly
just,
don't
like,
know if
one
I
thing.
can grow that much. Like it curls over. It doesn't get long. It just gets like thick. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I will. I was just talking to Monique about this the other day. I don't know if I'm gonna like just get rid of it or just like double down.
He won't. Here's what's gonna happen.
Double down December.
So Matthew was gonna shave his mustache and then argued with himself in my car for about 20 minutes.
What?
Yeah, no, you do this. You do this all the time with anything. You argue with yourself. You're like, you know what? I like this. I'm gonna stick with it. 5 minutes later, if that, he goes, no, you know what? I think I'm gonna shave it. I think it's just too much. I feel like I'm done with it. And then comes back around to it. Every time you go back and forth. I just let him talk because at the end of the day, he's gonna figure it out. He just like, there's nothing I can say that's gonna change his mind.
That's me.
You know what, though? That reminds me of when I first became friends with Matt in high school, because that was me going out to see him on the gym, on the blacktop.
Yeah. He was like, "Am I feeling like Matt Drumm today?" And then I didn't have any other friends. I was the new kid on campus, and then David would either talk to me.
Oh, you guys didn't go to the same middle school.
No. And then like by the time I came back, like so much had happened in middle school that people that were like super close in elementary weren't that close anymore, and I was still trying to like figure things out. And I was like super sad I left all my friends in middle school. But so I had one friend. He's a big goofy looking dude named David. But then he just sometimes didn't want to talk to me. Like whatever.
Did you have a hard time making friends in high school?
No.
What was your? Because I had like a way in all the time. Like I always started making friends inside the classroom just by making comments about the teacher or homework or schoolwork that we had to do, and that's how I would start a friendship. And then it would come outside of class, and then I would go meet their friends and expand from there. But that was like my usual strategy of making friends in high school. But did you have like a strategy or how you would kind of figure things out?
No, not really. I feel like I don't know. I think out loud, and so that just kind of gives people the opportunity to jump in on my thoughts, and then we just kind of started a conversation from there. But it wasn't like when I say new kid on campus, it's not like I moved from, Arkansas to California, and then I knew people on campus, but I just hadn't seen them in 3 years. And then by the time I came back, people that were close friends weren't friends anymore.
Yeah.
There were so many different like things that had happened that it was just kind of like I didn't know what to say, like who to talk to or who to say anything to.
That feels so
but
weird.
it was like after like the second or third week, all my like super close friends from elementary school, like I was able to like go up and like talk to them and stuff. And then,
I feel like that's the difference though. If you met them like before you left, like a few years, like 4th to 5th grade, like there's that friendship, but also like you're not going to be very talkative if you skip 2 years and then come back for freshman year of high school. But if you go to kindergarten, 1st grade, and 2nd grade, that friendship, like, it almost like won't go away. Like it's just that's a sign of growing up together. Like I still have people that I talk to that I know from kindergarten, from 1st grade, and from 2nd grade. But people that I met like in 4th and 5th grade, I don't really have as much contact in, which is kind of weird. But have you ever thought about that? Like the people that you grew up with, like in like your kinder years?
Well, Matt always told me hometown friends are different than any other friends.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it just is because if you think about the hometown, the demographic that you grew up in and the socioeconomical background that your families have are probably like super similar.
Hold the fuck up.
Big words right there.
What the fuck does that mean?
Is that time for
Dictionary with David.
Dictionary Dave. Dictionary Dave.
Diamond Dave.
Diamond Dave.
Dalton? What are we looking up?
Socioeconomical.
Socioeconomical in a socioeconomic way.
That's exactly what I needed. Everything makes so much more sense now.
Do you get it now?
Get it.
Socioeconomic of relating to or signifying the combination of or interaction of social and economic factors.
So I fell asleep all throughout economics.
Okay, can I give my definition of what I could be wrong.
Go ahead.
This is everybody comes from the same background where all the families in that area
We're middle class.
make relatively the same amount of money. Nobody owns a yacht.
And the same social background.
Same social background, right? Like Charter Oak was very Hispanic. It's like a melting pot. There was just so it was kind of like we all grew up very similarly is my whole point of that.
Yeah. We all
So
went
when
to
you
the
get
same
that,
Burger King.
there just comes an understanding of one another from that standpoint. But then you get a group of individuals that goes through puberty together. Talk about a bonding experience. You know what I mean? Like for women, like having to borrow tampons from one another, like, like being there for all that. For guys, like,
getting hard before you have to go up to the front of the class.
Standing up for a presentation and covering yourself, and everybody knows why. Like,
there's a reason why you put your jacket around your waist.
Like
tie it there.
Like going through the voice cracks. You know what I mean?
Never want to wear gym shorts because you get too many boners. This is more personal experience, to be honest.
But, like I think when you go through that, there's definitely a different understanding. Like I can speak to my friends. I can speak to David, Monique, Jasmine, like any of my friends that I grew up with. And I don't really feel the need to explain a whole lot because I feel like you guys just have a deeper understanding of me.
They just know. Yeah.
As opposed to like my friends from college who I love dearly, but that's just a different relationship.
Yeah.
Like I definitely felt very different from all of my friends in college, and that's just because we grew up differently. A lot of them were from Washington. A lot of their families were very wealthy. And a friend was from Jersey, and he's probably the one I connected to the most, like straight off the bat, But yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it is like, just like there's a deep cultural understanding of that area,
Yeah.
So, but yes, November's almost over, so it's time for us to pick our next challenge.
Yes, we're gonna pick our next challenge. Do we?
Well, we're gonna
have them?
we're gonna pick two options, and we're gonna let everyone else decide which one.
Okay, so
All
you
right,
guys,
all right, Diamond Dave, what are our two options?
hold on.
Don't look at me.
I have a question about
Yeah.
all of this.
Uh-huh.
One, is it Matthew done for his month? So is it like my month?
No, I was doing this before, so it can be.
So we're gonna have them pick
So
the person.
the two of you are gonna rock paper scissors for it.
Okay.
I don't know if that means the winner does it or the loser does it.
The loser has to do it.
Why don't I?
Well, just to start it
why
off,
don't I
yeah.
give the two options first?
Yeah, give the two options.
Hey,
and
you know,
then-
David, I think it'd be good if you gave the two options first, and then we kind of.
Yeah, make sure you give 2 though.
but only 2.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna.
One more than one, but
on a
one less than
socioeconomic
2.
scale. On a socioeconomic scale, I want you to give us 2.
Okay. So the 2 ones we'll do for December are cold showers or going vegetarian.
That's actually, I can't do that right now.
Why?
I'm actually mid bulk. I'm at 180, and I'm not going to slim myself down.
You can
right
still
now.
get your protein in.
I can still get my protein in, but
You literally can make it happen.
Okay.
you're telling me to not eat meat.
Cold showers or you learn a new language.
Oh, I'm game. Why are you laughing?
I just imagine like you have to be fluent or you die. Like
I'm
those
gonna
are
learn
your 2
Elvish.
options.
Wait, if I get it. I don't know.
Okay.
But if I do, that's like either Elvish or
No,
You know, he can pick the language.
but how are we gonna fact check his ass? He can literally just start running his mouth. Like, I guess.
watch
like,
Lord of the Rings, bitch. It's on there.
I don't have that much time, dude.
It's
All
not,
right.
That's not the whole movie. Imagine the whole movie they spoke Elven. That'd be crazy.
Dalton watches it with subtitles. He's like, I don't know, but I learned the first scene.
You've got 2 options now, so it's up to you 2 to decide if the winner or loser, like which one is gonna have to from those 2 options. You 2 are gonna play rock paper scissors
Stop,
right
Dalton.
now.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Wait. Very important topic. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Yes.
Or like 1, 2,
No.
shoot.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
You would be. All right. That's fine. I always go rock on the first one.
I always go scissors.
I always go rock. I'm just letting you know.
I refuse to do anything else.
I always go rock.
I'll still beat your ass.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. I told you.
Dang, you won. But I've committed.
So you need to say what you're gonna
Wait,
shoot
it's
too.
best 2 out of 3, dog.
Yeah.
All right, ready? 1, 2.
All right, tie. And Dalton's got the second one. We got 1-1 right
Tied
now.
up,
Matt
all
won the
tied
first
up.
one. Dalton's got the second one. Let's go. Last one. Tie. And Matt wins. What does that mean?
So
It means I have to do.
So do you want to do one of those 2 challenges, or you want Dalton to do one of those 2 challenges?
I thought it was loser.
Okay.
Yeah, it was loser. We
So Dalton,
we agreed on that.
we're gonna post on Instagram those 2 as a poll, and whatever the people decide more is what Dalton's gonna do for the entire month of December.
Call me drummer, please.
What Drummer is gonna do for the entire month of Drumcember.
Drumcember, good God.
It's gonna be a great month, man.
I do have to say the mustache worked really well if you only wear a black turtleneck.
It worked so well for the photo shoot, dude. It fit everything so well.
I love that it's just gonna be there in infamy because I might not ever do this again.
But how much did you love? For us, I know I love being in the center of attention, but how much did you love being the center of attention for literally basically 3 or 4 hours?
It was fun. Like the photo shoot was fun. So I've done photo shoots in the past. I've been the photographer for some. I've been the model for some. But that was probably the funnest one, and I think it's just because everybody there I knew. Like it was fine.
There was no reason for us to be like shy or anything like that.
The only thing that sucked is in every single one of those photos, Dalton and I have a blistering hangover.
So we had a rough night the night before.
Yeah.
Hung out with some family, had cousin time,
Had cousin time.
as we'd love to have. And it
It started at a birthday party before that.
we had a birthday party before that.
And then after that, we went to Dylan's, and then we were hung out, had some cousin time, and then that's where we got I was already pretty drunk leaving.
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
then
was
when we were
pretty messed
there, we went and do we need to stop? No. And then we went and then we were at Dylan's for a while, and then that's where just the hangover happened. Was there?
Yeah.
So, but dude, it was a lot of fun. I had so much fun doing it.
I haven't gotten like that in a minute, so I was happy to have fun with the cousins and stuff and hang out with them. And
I was talking about the photo shoot.
oh yeah, the photo shoot was cool too.
Yeah.
I woke up that morning and I was like, oh shit, I don't know what's gonna happen. So I woke up, started playing video games, had a big breakfast and a good protein shake just to kind of get something in my body. And then I was like, you know what? If like I'm feeling like this, I can only imagine how Matthew's feeling, because Matthew was messed up and like knocked out immediately after he got home. And I was able to like drink some water, hang out with Mo, talk for a while, and then slowly go to sleep. So I think your transition going straight into it was rougher, because then you wake up, you don't have any water in your system. You're not like, you don't like, I try to drink like at least maybe like 2 Nalgene's before I go to sleep if I'm drunk. So you didn't have that. I knew you woke up. You woke up hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, it was fun. I don't know how we came up with the turtleneck idea. I don't remember that.
I don't know why we wanted you know why we wanted turtlenecks? Is I wanted to do that impression, that second impression that we did. Can we say the impressions, or do you want us to wait on that?
You say whatever you want.
Well, what we ended up doing was Dalton and I, there's a movie that we watched, and we wanted to impersonate that movie, the cover of that movie. And then what ended up happening was we ended up just like, I think Rachel brought up another pose for us to do, and it ended up being, hey, let's just retake a bunch of iconic photos. And at first it was like, oh, they have to be in turtlenecks, but then it ended up just being not in turtlenecks. So you'll be seeing that. We'll be posting
Not all those photos are in turtlenecks.
Well, all of our photos, but not all of the photos that we're mimicking are. So, but you guys will be seeing that on our social media, and I had a lot of fun. It was just a lot of fun.
It was fun. It was fun to take pictures, and it was so laid back, and there's just no limits.
That was probably the easiest it's ever been for us to take photos, because anytime you get a bunch of us family members, like me, Dalton, and my dad especially, all three of us together to try and do something, it's a mess. Like we all start laughing. We all start like,
I don't know what is that, and lifting heavy things together. Those things don't work.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Like me and my dad can move things, but if Matthew's involved, or like I'm gone and Matthew and my dad are doing things, they could do it. But if it's all of us involved together, if we're lifting something extremely heavy and we know we could possibly die from it falling on us, we crack up. And it's just it's stupid. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Yeah. It's so dangerous. But it's fun.
It's pretty bad. But Saturday was fun. Photo shoot came out. The pictures came out really good.
Pictures came out good. I hope you guys like them. If not, well, we do, so it's awesome.
Well, we also have Christmas cards, right?
Yes.
We do have Christmas cards coming out, guys.
We have one special card or picture that's going to be for the Christmas cards. So if you guys would like a Christmas card, DM us your address, and for free, we will mail one to your house, a Drum and Drummer Christmas card, mainly for like when you have your family gatherings.
I want to be on your fucking refrigerator.
Yeah. Like being refrigerator worthy is like very important to me.
It's probably the most important thing in my life right now.
Oh,
Absolutely. Yeah, I can agree with that.
But DM us your address. We already have an address. A buddy of mine was like, I need one of these now. And I was like, send me your address. I'll get it to you. So go ahead and send that in, and we will make sure that you get it.
Right on. Who the fuck is Drake?
Yeah, what's
Campana?
Drake?
Well, first I wanted to, after we finished the photo shoot, I actually went to go see an old friend who had some other people there, all outside in the backyard, socially distanced and stuff. And one of them was this guy named Ryan who has this, and it works. I think it matches well. He can manifest things really well for other people. And by that, so Matt, you follow him now. You kind of want to talk about when you see?
Yeah. So, Ryan, right? But his TikTok handle is e.mo.shins, TIONS.
Emotions with 2 periods.
2 periods. So essentially he is gifted in manifesting. And so manifesting is, being able to think, speak, write, believe that certain things will come to happen, and they do. However, there's a huge disclaimer, and this is very important, is that it's not about just simply speaking it, right? Like coming from the background that Dalton and I do, like growing up as religious as we have, like there's a saying that like God can't move to parked car, right? Like you still have to do the actions to make what you want happen. But he's known for people coming and being like, hey, I really want to meet this person, or hey, I really want to do this. Hey, I want to do that. And he'll, journal about it in his manifesting notebook, and he'll do his affirmations or whatever it is. And then all of a sudden he has multiple accounts of people being like, oh my God, like I really wanted to meet this person and it happened. Look at this. And it's a picture of them with the person,
I need to find a place soon. Boom. Next day.
Yeah, and so it's just like putting out into the universe what it is that you want, and then the universe responds and gives it to you.
Okay.
And so David got to hang out with him at this party.
Oh, and yeah, it was just, I don't know, it was just a really cool ability that he was telling us about, and steeped in positivity, and just going through his videos after, because he was just very humble about it and very kind of the same way you are with your guys' sensitivity. He's very casual about it, but then you go and listen, you get the atmosphere, and it's crazy also how much it fits with your idea of like you get back what you put into the universe.
Absolutely.
And so how things just kind of, it's like all variants on each other.
Yeah. So actually, it's funny. I'm reading this book right now. It's like I can't remember the name of it. It's like 21 Day Mind Reset Happiness Challenge. I don't know. It's a book. I'll get the title if anybody wants it. I'll send it to them. So let's see. Everybody that's listening to this, and if you're new here watching this, Dalton and I grew up with a very, very non-denominational, charismatic Christian background. So I tend to still really put things through that, right? So manifestation for me was always one of those things where I was like, it just makes sense. It makes, like, if everything is atoms and there's vibrational pools for everything, it just makes sense that like the words that we speak has a play on the rest of our lives, right? But like, how does this come into play with like, the beliefs that I grew up in? And this book that I'm reading is the first one that it doesn't call it manifestation. And if the author ever listens to this and I'm completely wrong, reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to be corrected. But the idea is that like we can change the neuroplasticity of our brain, right? So our brain essentially can grow. So it's either you have two options. You have the growth mindset or the fixed mindset, right?
Yes.
And what a lot of it does is it really pulls on this idea that the way that we speak and the way that we think plays into what we get in this world, right?
So like fake it till you make it.
Almost. Yes and no. But it basically confirms the placebo effect, right? Because our brains aren't able to differentiate reality from now, which is why when people have anxiety attacks, it's even if it's something that never happened or didn't happen or they think it's going to happen, because anxiety tends to be future based, right? Like, I am anxious about this scenario. And the reason why that happens is because it's like our brain can't differentiate the like now and then. Like our brain is living that scenario that we're putting ourselves through as real. Mm-hmm. And so this book really talks about, it's like has a 5-step method at the very end that I haven't read. I just got to that part. But it's basically saying that like the words that we speak have weight and vibrational value, if you want to call it that. And the one study that I've seen across a lot of these books that I've read is that there is a scientist, and he goes and he speaks these different words into water, and then he freezes them, right? So he freezes, he says something along the lines of like, you're stupid, and then he freezes the water. He says something along the lines of like, you're beautiful, freezes the water. And it's crazy because the crystals that it crystallizes, and the formation of it all is like so different. Like anything negative has this effect where it's like everything is very like tight and ugly and corroded. And anytime there's like a positive affirmation or something that was positive said to the water, it's like a beautiful like snowflake. And it's just like, it's crazy. So like, I feel like I'm doing a lot of rant. What?
He's fucking talking to water.
Yeah.
That's what you take away from this, Dalton?
I mean, I understand the concept of it. Like positivity is better than negativity, and you can see like the stress on the negative side and the freeness on the positive side, and like it correlates with feelings and stuff. But why the fuck are you talking to water and freezing it? It's like you walk into this guy's freezer and all you see is a bunch of water, like just a bunch of cups in a freezer, and you're like, oh, and each one has like a stupid, like one says stupid, one says beautiful, one says happy.
It's his version of the Coke bottles.
I honestly, that's like, I'm not like, I don't want to put it down. Like it sounds interesting. I want to try it now. Like I want to like, I just want to see if I can actually see the difference, or if it's just like, the freezer was different that day than the other day, and I feel like there's a lot more things that go into it.
Yeah, but I feel like a scientist that does these things has those temperatures
in funds.
Yeah, like figured out.
Water. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but
I vibe with everything you're saying.
But yeah, so I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, well, the way he manifests is he like reads people request things for him, and so he has a journal that he writes it down. One, he has them speak it into existence. He also speaks it into existence.
There has to be a level of confidence that goes into that too, right? Like you can't just like go into that being like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work. Like you can't really question it. You just got to keep reaffirming yourself that this is gonna work. This is gonna work. This is gonna work.
And that's a big part of his structure is when he writes it down. When he speaks it in the past tense.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like living expectingly.
He explains his emotions on what it's like to have already experienced this.
Yeah, and it's like so. Vibrational pools, and mind you, I'm very elementary when it comes to the understanding of this. It's like, if everything is atoms and everything has a vibration to it, if we speak in ways that have low vibrations, then we get those low vibrational results. However, if we speak in words that are high vibrational words, or we speak in ways that allow our vibrations to continue to rise, then we match what we put out, right?
Yes.
And then two, it's like living with this expectance of like, the universe, God, they want good things for us. They want what we want. So if we tell them what we want, we put it out there and we say it every day expectingly, it will come to pass. So
agreed.
But in that vein, do you guys want to do your own manifestation right now for the podcast? We're starting season 2. We've got this new channel. We've got video recording. We got new structures, new segments.
Yeah, headphones
See, I feel
on.
like if I say no, then
You're just spreading negativity, bro. Put that in the fucking water.
no. But what I mean is like not.
Freeze that shit.
No, but like I feel like David could like take advantage of his position and be like, "Do you guys want to like really celebrate my birthday?" And then we're like,
Speak it to
"What are we gonna
existence.
do? Say no?" You can cut all that out.
I don't know. I'm waiting for you guys if you want to do it or not.
So yes, I want to do it. I just wondering like how that works. Like,
It
do we just go?
It's really just what's your goal? What do you want to manifest? Is that an amount of people this reaches? Is that what level of success or what level of exposure do you want that we would be manifesting?
And is this something that we speak out loud, or is it more like we write it down like he did?
You could do both, but since we're recording right now, just speak about it in the past tense and how it makes you feel.
So I would be more like, now that we have over 500 listeners a week, I feel excited, ecstatic, and ready for the future. And season 3 is going to be legit.
Yeah. There you go.
And I'll meet The Rock.
Into existence. But like I said, you got to have confidence. Now, I'm going to ask you guys, Drake Campana is a Mexican singer.
Okay.
Do you know anything else about him?
Absolutely not.
Here's what I was thinking
Yeah.
for a second.
See, I thought this was Drake from
Drake Bell, who just came out with his...
Oh, you know what?
He
He had like his own camp.
Did he come out with like a Spanish song? Or like...
Drake Bell changed his name to Drake Campana.
No, are you
this
serious?
is him?
And moved to Mexico.
Really? Why? Megan?
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Megan.
I actually had that question for you.
Like, why did he do that?
Yeah.
Spicy Latinas, man.
He tweets in fluent Spanish. He lives in Mexico and he makes Spanish music now.
Lord Real.
Well, no. Well, I'm guessing it's probably cheaper to live out there than in California. Is he like low on fundos?
Is he like, is his bloodline from there at all? Do you know?
I don't think so.
No money.
He's got red
He's out of
hair.
money.
Maybe. That could be part of it.
That's why?
He's broke.
You know this as a fact, or you're speculating?
I'm speculating because I know he has a pretty good fan base on his normal music. So I don't know. That's kind of weird. I'm happy that he's doing something he wants to do. That's definitely like out of like the whim for like his fans. But I feel like, it makes him happy.
Unless he has a new fan base that's even more rabid.
I mean, it's good. I heard his stuff. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just feel like maybe he's having You just wanted to go out there, just needed a change, like a full change. And especially like something like that where you're a musician, like that's so specific that if you don't know how to make money any other way, and maybe it's something that he's been wanting to do for a while. Like maybe he's going through a crisis where he's like, I'm not Drake Bell, I'm Drake Campana.
You know what? We should really get him in here to talk about this.
Yeah,
Introducing Drake. Why don't you come down here for a minute? That'd be so dope.
But yeah, I mean, this guy basically has had the life of Marty McFly from Back to the Future 2. He got into a car accident that ruined his guitar playing hand, so he wasn't able to play guitar for a long time. He went bankrupt. He did go bankrupt at one point. He got it back.
Drake?
Yeah. Just like
He got in a car
Marty
accident?
McFly in the classic Back to the Future Part 2.
Did Marty McFly ever go down to Mexico, or did he ever move and change his name?
No, original Marty McFly came and fixed that timeline. So then when he went back, he didn't get in the car crash and didn't go bankrupt, and instead made a bunch of money and played the guitar really good.
So what you're saying is that this isn't the real Drake. Switched him out.
Maybe.
Honestly, if there's a year for there to be people coming back and trying to fix things, this is gonna be the year.
Dude, I wouldn't doubt it. I would not even question what happens in 2020 anymore.
Yeah.
Crazy thing is we're almost in 2021. And I don't even know if that's going to change anything at this point.
Hey, let's take a break and then we'll get into the rest of our segments.
Yep.
All right. So as we were talking about with Back to the Future and predictions and stuff like that, David was actually talking to me earlier this week about how things come in cycles. And one thing that he brought up was how Austin Powers predicted the future of cinema. So, David,
Go on.
David, you want to explain it to Dalton?
It was a 30-minute video essay about how the Austin Powers trilogy basically explained how a lot of popular culture cinema was going to go. They were the first ones to really expand on mythology and lore and give explanations for kind of every little thing.
Yeah.
They gave origins. They explored origins for a lot of main characters and stuff like that.
In the Austin Powers movie?
Yeah. You see that him and Dr. Evil were brothers. You find out how Dr. Evil and number 2 met, and all these things.
So they did it was a parody in a sense of the future movies?
If you made that movie now, you'd think it's a parody.
Okay.
But it did it first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
But it also talked about how the Austin Powers trilogy was all about nostalgia, because Austin Powers is a 60s agent that comes to the 90s and saves the 90s by bringing the 60s to it.
Yeah. And
Yeah, baby.
So we were talking about it, and it automatically made me think of a lot of the people that I spend time with are older than me, and then I'm even seeing it now with our generation. It's if you're a 90s kid, you wore these, and you know what I mean? And it's nostalgia is, and as a marketer, nostalgia is so powerful.
That has to be key for marketing, I feel.
It is. Because that the person that pops in my head immediately is who?
Me.
No.
Dad.
Yes.
Okay.
My dad loved his childhood, and he had a great childhood. He had a great time, a lot of fun with his cousins and stuff like that. There's, but it was just he always, anytime he sees something that reminds him of his childhood, just done. Yeah. He will pay a lot of money for things like that.
Yeah,
do you remember that one time?
Wait,
we came home and Dad was all excited
in the kitchen floor.
Yep. And so so let me paint a picture. My dad's nickname is the albino rhino. My dad is a 5'8" by height and probably 5'8" width, but just all muscle man, right? And he's just a big human. And I come home one day, I open up the house on 721. I open up the door and I see my dad laying down on the kitchen floor, and he had purchased this race
car set
that he had when he was a kid, right? And
it was a cool set.
And the thing is that like he had this thing down to a science. Like there was a rhythm you had. So you had a little lever. You would hit it. It would make the car go. It'd go around the racetrack. It'd come back, and you had to hit it again, and it would go faster. And so me and Dalton are like cool because there's like 2 tracks, so you can like go back and forth.
But it was
right?
one of those things like it's cool. Like we'll play it for like once or twice, and then we're done. But homeboy was there for like.
He was there for a while.
He was there for a minute.
And honestly, like it was cool to see just the pure bliss that he had, an enjoyment of like taking him back to his childhood, like a simpler time.
Truly
like,
appreciating what he had.
It literally almost brought tears to my eyes because I'm like, that's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? But then, you have that, which is like, I feel like, every once in a while you see something like that. You see an old TV show on TV, you watch it. But then there's the 2 extremes, right? I feel like, because the question on our document is nostalgia. Is it a benefit or is it a hindrance?
Oh, geez.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go into my answer. I think it depends on your relationship with nostalgia.
If you rely on nostalgia so much that like you talk about it all the time, it's always in your mind, then it could be a hindrance because it holds you back.
Exactly. And if it stops you from enjoying the now.
I could definitely see that.
How do you define your relationship to nostalgia? Because I feel like the 2 of you have very different ideas on it too, or relationships to it.
You want me to go?
Yeah, you go first.
I'm super nostalgic. I definitely take that from my dad, I think, a lot. Also my mom is very nostalgic too. But hers is just not very much with like the objects, more of like the relationships and the family type stuff.
Yeah.
So like with certain things, I think nostalgia is good for me, and nostalgia is good for a lot of things, but it's good for me because it gave me my interests for the future. So like I love TV shows. I loved the animated TV shows, and that gave me my interest in art and in the rest of it. So it was like constant. Like I had an interest in it, and that's what sparked it for me. So when I want that inspiration back, I just rewatch like the old Yu-Gi-Oh animated series and watch and be like, I want to make those monsters now. Now I'm gonna draw it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that was like always my thing. Is nostalgia is more of a push off of my interest and not really a hindrance on my interest.
Yeah,
because it helped me find myself, helped me kind of not really define me, but help me find the hobbies that I like to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's definitely something that I can see could be a hindrance if somebody lives in the past.
Absolutely.
That's very easy to do, is to live in the past.
It's so easy. And it's a generational conversation to have. And I have this a lot where it's like, oh, like I'm old school. Like I don't do that.
Yeah, like the closed off mindset.
Exactly. And that's where I think it becomes a hindrance. And the idea of, I don't think anything is necessarily, or most things, let me preface that. There's a lot of things that I don't think are necessarily good or bad. It's how you use them. It's your relationship with most of the stuff, right? When it comes to nostalgia, I think there's so much benefit because I think that like nostalgia and the way that you view your childhood has so much to do with the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, like you want to be able to look back on those times with joy and with happiness and think about, and there's not a lot of people that can do that.
Yeah.
Right. Like there are a lot of people out there whose childhoods are not good. So they may not be able to relate to this. So for that, I empathize and I'm like, I'm sorry because like that's just not my experience. Right. My childhood was absolutely fucking phenomenal.
But is there like a thing for you that's like your nostalgic thing that you're like, when I'm in this moment,
video games.
Like, is there a specific one?
Donkey Kong 64. We talked about it all the time. Like Donkey Kong 64. Even just recently, we downloaded.
It's mainly the video games. The entertainment aspect is why.
The video games, and the only other time I really experienced nostalgia, like hardcore, was when we went and we crashed it. We stayed the night at Lexi's place. And it was me, you, Aubrey, Caleb, and we were just all drinking and stuff like that. Because, and I told Aunt Vicky this too, the coolest thing about that whole night was that like, it felt, like when you spend the night at your cousin's house and then like the parents go to sleep and then you all lay down in bed like you're actually going to go to sleep.
Okay.
And then they close the door and then you all get up and you start doing things. The parents can clearly hear you, but they're just like, either A, they're too tired, like I don't care what you do, or B, they know that that's like a very bonding experience for the cousins. That was that whole night for me. It felt like Aunt Vicky and Uncle Alex had just gone to bed, closed the door, and it was just us left to our own devices.
Okay. That makes sense.
That was the only other time I've really experienced nostalgia. I don't experience it on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Do
you ever crave it? Like you want to feel it again? That feeling? of being like, man, I remember that moment. Like I'll go and like, we watch our old home videos, and that's very nostalgic for me.
Sometimes like honestly, sometimes I'll want to go back to like, an early Saturday morning, Tarzan's on cartoons, and I go and I lay down on the couch and I watch I drink chocolate milk and mom's making pancakes. Like stuff like that, yeah. Like there's times where like, especially when stuff gets stressful, I'm like, fuck, that would be great. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because I noticed in my memory, I always have specific times. Like there's this one time where Matthew was playing Kingdom Hearts in his room, and our cousin Anthony was over, and we were hanging out, and it was a Sunday morning, and Matthew, I think it was Kingdom Hearts or Jack and Daxter 2, one of those two. And you were playing on the PS2. We were watching you play, and then we started to get ready for church, and you're about to beat the game. So we got ready for church, and we played handball outside on the garage door for like 20 minutes before we had to leave, and then we left. For some reason, that is like super nostalgic for me. Like whenever we drove past the house after that in the future, I always would look at that garage door and be like, man, like I remember playing there. Or I would look at I would remember our old furniture like it was yesterday. Yeah. And I just like, when we play Kingdom Hearts now or play Jack and Daxter 2, like a lot of nostalgia comes up for me with those games.
Yeah, I think most of my nostalgia comes from video games itself. But that's a healthy relationship. The time that I think of it being a hindrance or a negative relationship with nostalgia is when it stops you from progressing, right? So I am automatically think of,
retro comes from the term Retrorockets, which was what was used on a bunch of missiles, and it's what gives reverse thrust to the rocket to slow it down, and when it's landing or when it needs to adjust course or whatever. But so the term literally came from slowing down and stopping progress. So that shows like there is basis on this not being a good thing.
Again, relationship is very important.
And
right?
that's why there's two types kind of nostalgia that people think. One is as a sense of comfort, and both is a sense of escapism.
Yeah.
But one is a sense of comfort, and one is a sense of yearning. I guess also for comfort, but like one is comfort for the now.
Could the other one be avoidance?
It's like living in
avoidance.
So it's like a sense of living in your glory days. Like people who are past their prime.
Yes.
And all they can talk about is their time in high school. All they talk about is their times where they were a champion of this or this.
And all that. I want to make my point. Like the idea that comes to my head is the people that I go through this a lot at work, which is where they're like, I'm old school, sweetie. I don't use technology, and I'm like, that's great. I understand that, and you probably made all your money this way, but that's just not the world we live in anymore. That's where I see it being a hindrance when it does, the retro thrust, whatever you just said, like where it stops you from progressing. That's where it becomes a problem. And I just think that for people to be so closed off and be like, no, this is how it works, this is how I do it, and this is how it gets done. Now, there are people out there like that just so happen to start it at the right time, and by the time they retire, by the time they finish whatever they're doing, it happens to be along that same lifespan. So there are people out there that never really have to change. However, I don't think we are in that time frame anymore because things are evolving so rapidly, especially in the workplace, that it's like there's new tools and new things to learn every single year. And I feel bad. Like, for instance, there's one of my coworkers. She's in her, like mid to late 70s. She called me because she needed to learn how to use Zoom. And I sat on the phone with her and I did a Zoom call with her for like 2 hours. And she kept telling me, she's like, Matt, I'm so frustrated with this stuff. And I told her, I was like, I'm so proud of you for sitting down and being like, I need to learn this. That takes courage. Like, it's not like think about now. Like I talk to some kids or I see some kids say things or I listen to what they're talking about. And like, they're just like, assumptions that they make because they've grown up with technology way more than we have. And I feel like we grew up with it. Yeah. So I feel like it's about the relationship, but if it stops you from progressing because you don't want to evolve with the times and you can't read the writing on the wall, that's where it becomes an issue.
But here's another thing is those people back in their day, technology wasn't a big deal.
Well, that's the other thing is,
But here's my question about it is like, if technology wasn't a big deal for them and they have to make that severe change, right? Because it is severe. Like everything comes from being in your hands to being on a fake piece of paper. You know what I mean? So a lot of things change. But for us, what's going to be our back in our day? Because now we're thinking we're always moving forward. Like we're getting used to the new iPhones, to the new, the new laptops, to the cameras, to virtual learning, to anything, all this stuff, right? Everything's constantly changing for us. Are we ever going to have a sense of, okay, this is changing? Like back in my day, we didn't do this. Like I don't think we can do that.
I think you already experienced it a bit. Maybe not you, Dalton, because you were an early adopter of TikTok. But when TikTok first started and it was just e-boys and dance videos, like there was a lot of our generation being like mid-20s, late 20s, who's like, what the hell is this?
I guess that could be a social media kind of like back in my day type thing. Like it's not a MySpace. You know what I mean? Like
not on MySpace, even like Instagram. Like Monique was probably the first person I ever knew that got an Instagram, and it was just artists that used it to show their art, and there was no selfies, there's no profile pictures, you didn't use your actual
models.
name. You know what I mean? And things evolve, things change. And it depends on, are you gonna put your foot in the ground and be like, nope, this is how it stays, or not? I think that really depends on.
That's a really interesting kind of thing. Retrorockets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How it slows you down, because I just kind of think about like us, and we're always moving forward, including with like what we're both going into, which is very cyber-esque. Like what's going to be our time to slow us down? Like what's going to be our thing of being like, okay, well, now I have to learn this. Like,
I feel like it's different though, because I feel like technology is already changing so much that it's like
we live in the change though.
We're all exactly. So we're used to things changing. So I like, at least for me, I'm waiting for the next update. Like those are things that are constantly happening. So it's just kind of like, if I just know that it's not going to be the same. Like the learning curve doesn't stop at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's constantly going to the next thing. And like, we're just going along with it, because that is our lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And,
it is.
And David has a comment here that I think is really interesting. And it says, like, people are yearning for any other time than right now.
That's what I've really been thinking about too a lot, though. That's interesting that you said that. You're always thinking about what you're going to do next. You're always thinking about where you want to go next. You're always thinking about your next tattoo, your next dinner, your next meal. But like, it's super hard to live in the moment. And I think about, working out and stuff like that, where it kind of grounds you and makes you think about what you're doing right now, which is hard to do, because a lot of people don't do that. You know what I mean? And so there's this thing where it's kind of like, it's like an anxiety method. And if you start to feel your anxiety build up, you start to notice that like you're just in your head, you go to all these future types of problems that might happen to you. But if you have a pack of salt and you put it on your tongue, and you could taste the bitterness, and so your brain turns and starts thinking about the bitterness, right? And then you start feeling it, really putting it around your mouth. It puts you in a grounded state to where you're thinking about what you're doing right now. It puts you back on Earth.
Did you learn that from an ADHD video?
I think so.
Yeah, because I think I've seen that one too.
Yeah,
and then also too, I feel like from a primal state, it's like, why would you eat if you were in danger?
Yes. Yeah, it's like a state of vulnerability.
Yeah,
and you don't want to be vulnerable. So it brings you back down to level yourself out, and then you could think level-headedly. Yeah, you know what I mean, which I think is really cool. Also, I don't know if headedly is a word, but I'm gonna stick with it.
There we go.
Headedly,
dude, it's canon. It's canon right now.
Yeah, I like it. I like the word. But yeah, I really like that. And that's very true. A lot of people have a hard time living in the moment. Even we have a hard time living in the moment. Like, it's hard.
Yeah, and I think it's because we're always anticipating the future but yearning for the past, because hindsight's always 2020, and I feel like even if we have a there's very few times where we look back on an event and it's usually a tragic one where like, damn, I do not want to go back there. You know what I mean? Like, those are things that it's very far few in between. And like, for instance, like, our childhood was great. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. But also too, I feel like most people think pretty fondly on their childhood. But being present is hard because especially in today's day and age with like social media and everything's always updating. You're always looking for the next thing. And it's instant gratification. And it's that hit of dopamine every single time.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like we get used to the next thing and the next thing, the next thing. And we're always consuming. Like we are a consumer culture, whether that's food, social media, content, information, whatever it is. We're always consuming something from the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep. You know?
Wouldn't it be cool to do like that? I think it'd be really cool to do like a full on like no man's land silent retreat where you don't talk, you don't have technology. It's you in this little house out in the wilderness.
So there's a guy, his name is Jesse Itzler, and he wrote a book called Living with the Monks. So he's an entrepreneur. He's one of my favorite people. Like I really enjoy listening to him speak. He has a lot of like really just like he's just an interesting dude. He's the guy that wrote a book called Living with the SEAL. And if you guys know David Goggins, he's this Navy SEAL, and he's the guy that put David Goggins on the map, right? So essentially, Jesse Itzler runs like long miles, like long mile races, so 100-mile races and stuff like that, right? And so he went to this race. It was on just your normal like high school track. And it was a 24-hour race or something like that. And so you had to complete a certain amount of miles within 24 hours, whatever. He said that he showed up and he was already rich at that point because he had started multiple, successful businesses. He had a bunch of coconut water. He had this whole entourage with them, like nice lawn chairs and easy up and stuff like that. He said that there was this guy, and this guy was doing the same race. He showed up with a box of like saltine crackers, and like one Gatorade and a lawn chair. And he said that at mile 75 or something like that, that guy stopped and he took off his shoes and like all of his toes were broken. His blood was everywhere. He just taped his foot to his like inside his shoes, like taped it all together, put his shoe back on and finished the rest of the race. And he's like, damn, I need to meet this guy. So he introduces himself to him. And he goes, I want you to come live with me. And anything that you say, like, I want you to train me to be like you. Like, you're the hardest motherfucker I've ever met. I want to be like you. And so he's like, fine, I'll come. But anything that I say, you have to do. And so that's the whole book of Living with the SEAL. Highly recommend it. Great book.
It's crazy.
He has another book called Living with the Monks. So he goes out to, I just listened to him talk about it too. It was in Canada, and it was a type of Russian monks, and there are these people there, and he went and he lived with them for 2 weeks, and they strip you of everything. And these Russian monks, the way that they make their money for their monastery is they raise German shepherds, and they're the best dog trainers in the world. Oh. And he said that his first night there, he goes and he stops, and he gets in about 6 p.m. and he goes, all right, prayer starts at 5 a.m. tomorrow. And he's like, well, what do I do for the next 18 hours or whatever? And he's like, I don't know, right, think. Closes the door, leaves him alone. And he's left alone with his thoughts. He said after 15 minutes, he's like, I don't know if I can do this. I think being alone like that would be like so challenging.
Yeah.
So challenging. But he said that at the end of it, because he finished it, at the end of his 15 days, it put into perspective how much we consume and how much needless things we consume. Like, we don't need to know all of those things.
Yeah.
And he said it was really able for him to realign his priorities into being like, okay, do I care that I need to answer this email right away? Is it that important that I need to answer right now, or can it wait till tomorrow? And he said that he just realized how his priorities had gotten out of whack. I feel like that's what that time would really, really like put into perspective.
How long do you think you would do that for? If you could do, if not necessarily the monk thing, but just like a very simple silent retreat. Like, would you go all in 7 days, or would you be like, okay, 3 or 4?
See, 3 or 4, I actually think is attainable. Like, I feel like I could do that right now. 7 is long enough for it to kind of freak me out.
Huh. I feel like an hour would fuck me up.
Yeah. Well, didn't you say you wanted to go to the quietest room in the world?
Oh, that sounds like the craziest, coolest thing in the world. In the world, I hear you can literally hear your blood flow. Like, Imagine hearing that.
Hell no.
That's ridiculous. But I do want to try that. I feel like that'd be a super cool concept to learn, because I think self-help, self-improvement, anything you can do to better yourself as a person, not relying on anybody else, just you as a human being. I feel like that's very important.
Yeah.
In every aspect of your life. And I think that'd be really cool to try out and see if it's something that I could even do. Because I'm like, I'm on TikTok for like, probably at least an hour all the time put together with the whole day. Like that's a lot. That's a long time to be on TikTok. You know what I mean? Like that's a long time to be on social medias and looking for, new clothes I'm going to buy, or like the new video game, or always studying for a test. Like I'm never just like, and then when I get anxiety attacks. You know what I mean? So it's like there's no in between.
Yeah.
So I would definitely like to really challenge myself in that aspect of being like, okay, nothing, no talking, like just live in those thoughts, consume it, learn how to move past it, and it's like throwing yourself in the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because nobody really wants it, but you kind of need it.
Yeah.
I do want to say, Jared Leto did one of those where he just left civilization for I think like 21 days. He left March 6th, 2020.
Why do you remember that date?
Think he was gone. think if you left civilization and just like went, didn't have any.
March 6th
2020
was
and
it?
was gone for 21 days.
Wait.
So he left when COVID was hitting.
He left
Well,
at the
COVID
start.
hit at the end of February.
But it didn't hit till like mid-March.
Yes.
So he came back. Was he even allowed to come back?
Yeah. Because he wasn't. He was like in the desert in California or something like that. He was just off in some off the grid place.
That's crazy. So he came back into the pits of hell.
Dang. Could you imagine? Like the amount of things that had happened at that point to like, one, I feel bad for the person that like his wife or whatever, or husband. I don't know who he's married to, but like, could you imagine having to try to explain that to somebody? Like, hey, there's
a global pandemic.
There's a global pandemic. We have a curfew. We can't leave our house. You need to wear this over your face everywhere you go.
By the way,
we can't buy toilet paper.
I was just gonna say that we don't have toilet paper. That's crazy.
But yeah, so while we got off of it, but while we were on the topic of nostalgia, why don't we hit some slang trivia with Matt Drumm?
Okay.
Slang trivia with Drumm.
I'm Matt
And
Drumm.
so Matt, I'm gonna
What's
need
up?
you to
I
your
won't close,
phone.
but I scrolled up. So I can see
Okay,
it.
Dalton, pull your phone out so I can highlight these things for you.
Was it the ones I was looking at before? Because they were not unhighlighted or undarkened, whatever the word I'm looking for is.
Well, this used to be something that we did for Matt because he was not up to date with all of the current slang. But since we're making it a regular segment, now it will encompass the entire spectrum of slang.
Hell yeah.
Ties in with nostalgia because it could be from any decade. We're going to go 5 at a time.
All right, let's do
And
this.
Dalton should know most of these. I put the answers for the other ones. And we're going to ask you.
I'm so curious.
We're going to
about
ask
all
you.
these.
We're going to ask you to explain them,
All right.
use them in a sentence.
Okay.
You ready for the first one?
You know what? I feel like this is a good one to start off because we've been talking about this.
What's up?
This time. Chia.
Chia.
Like cha.
Cha. It's another way of saying yeah, but like a little more like pizzazz. Like
Or
cha.
like cha.
Like it's like a sassy way to say yeah. Like when you're trying to be condescending to somebody, like
Put it in a sentence. Stop explaining.
put it in a sentence. I feel like that's a response. I don't feel like it's
You could definitely put that in a sentence.
like David asked me, Matt, do you even like lift, bro? And I was like, cha.
Cha. Like cha, dude. Yeah.
Do you know what decade it's from?
What decade? I feel like that's an older one. What is this?
Cha.
The 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Surfer.
Oh, I see. Like, okay.
Gary
okay,
probably
okay.
knows.
Gary
All right,
knows.
Matt's one
Seth
for one.
knows.
Seth knows. Seth for sure knows. All right. You got that one. That wasn't bad. That was pretty good. Let's do just because out of curiosity, I want to see where you go with this one. Hertz donut.
What?
A Hertz donut.
A Hertz donut.
Hertz donut.
Dalton, I hope you know where to go with this.
I have no fucking idea where to go with this.
Hertz donut.
Do you know what a Hertz donut is?
I feel like it's like you're trying to make it sound like it says Hertz donut, but it's supposed to be like saying like Hertz, doesn't it? Like Hertz donut.
Do you want a Hertz donut?
Hertz donut.
Do you want a Hertz donut?
Do I want a Hertz donut?
Yeah.
Is it jelly filled?
No.
Then no. Or then yes, I'll take one.
Yeah.
Wait, let me see your hand. I'll give you a Hertz donut.
No, hey, you asked.
Wait, David's gonna give you a Hertz donut.
Stop.
Hertz donut.
Hertz donut.
So I was right.
You got fucking pwned.
So I was right, and also no, it didn't hurt. Go back to the gym. Yeah, so it's like an English person trying to say Hertz, doesn't it?
No, it's like a prank. It's like a sibling prank.
So is that a slang then?
That's slang.
I would argue that.
You'd ask someone, hey, you want a Hertz donut? And they'd be like, ooh, yeah, donut? Yeah, of course I do. And you punch them and you go, Hertz donut.
That's like one of those.
That is not slang. That's a joke.
I'm about to give you a Hertz donut.
Hertz donut. All right, ready for this one?
Yeah, what is it?
Sus.
We talked about this one a couple weeks ago.
Did we talk about sus?
No. Yeah, we did. It's like sus, like you're being like sus.
I don't know, man. I don't think so. You're being pretty sus right now.
Ooh, I think we did talk about sus, but not in this context.
Not in the game.
Yeah, not in the.
Not in the game.
Not in the game.
Oh, like you guys just explained it to me and I forgot. Sus. You're just being like.
How do you spell it?
S-U-S.
Okay. Put in a sentence.
I'm surprised this was the easiest one.
I told Dalton.
Yeah,
I told Dalton to lick my foot, and he wouldn't do it. He's such a sus.
So sometimes you can use it as like, yeah, I was talking to this person and they just like weren't understanding me, and I was like, oh, that's hella sus, like suspicious.
Oh, it means suspicious?
Yeah, I mean suspicious. Dalton's didn't really. That wasn't.
That kind of makes sense. Like you're like this person just walks away and you're like, oh, that's hella sus.
Like if Matt drank my drink and then he just like put it away, and I was like, hey, who drank my drink? And Matt was like, not me.
That's not even a good example.
But he was
I got a better example.
But he was shifting his eyes around. That'd be pretty sus.
Or like somebody smoked my cigarette. Wait, that's not even a good one.
And I watched them, and they said it was them, but like that's not sus.
Or like this murderer is like walking around and you don't know who it is, and you're in a room with 5 people, and all those 5 people are acting hella sus, so you don't know who the murderer is. Suspicious.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. All right.
Suspicious.
We all lost on that one.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like it took me a while, but I got it. I feel like mine's still the best example out of everybody's.
All right, next one.
Hold on, I locked my phone. Okay. Slide in DMs.
It's when you direct message like somebody on.
I think there's a difference between direct messaging someone and sliding in their DM.
Okay, it's like every time Monique puts up like this cute like little video in her dress, and all the boys come and they slide in her DMs, sending fucking fire emojis and shit. Yeah, I see it. See it.
look at your camera. Tell it.
Does that work for you, Dalton?
Does that suffice?
Yeah, bro, it's super stuff.
Can we do like a playoff this one where I use like really big words and Dalton has to?
We do that already.
Too.
That is already a game. We do that literally every time we have a podcast. You and David. We did sus, cha, sliding DMs, Hertz donut, and thirst trap.
Thirst trap.
Put it in a sentence.
Well, first I want him to explain it.
I really don't know. Like I know, but I don't know how to explain it.
What would you? Yes, Dalton, you got your hand up.
I feel like I got an
give it to
idea.
me.
So it's like you have a cup of water.
Yeah.
And you, so like when I think of trap, I think of like trap houses, cocaine, drugs. So I'm thinking is like you take a hit, you know.
You get cotton mouth?
You get cotton mouth. Your throat gets dry. Fuck, I'm thirsty in a trap house. I got that thirst trap. Cup of water. Or you're 40. Whatever you want, dog. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. You drink that shit.
See,
you're not on that thirst trap no more.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that that's not it.
You'd be right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. But don't tell me that it wasn't close.
I won't tell you that it wasn't close.
It wasn't close.
I'm on that thirst trap, dog.
I don't know. I actually don't know.
So a thirst trap is when a guy or a girl posts videos or pictures that are intentionally made to be appealing towards the other person. So like when guys post shirtless pics of their abs, or girls post twerking videos, or like the sexy selfies as Monique's doing right now. Those are thirst traps meant to get the fire emojis and to get people to slide into their DMs.
Oh, so this is all connected.
It's all connected.
All right. Well, I feel like mine was close, but that makes more sense.
Yeah,
so I'll stick with that one for now.
There was no drugs involved. But
I'm on that thirst trap, dog.
There we
We
go.
should make a
Another
song about that.
slang trivia. And so, as we get here, we're gonna do the first time on video, our signature segment.
What? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Is it canon, bro?
I don't like the way you sound in my ear. Sorry.
And this is where we take a phenomena and we decide if it's real or not, if it fits the canon of our universe. And this week's topic is the lizard people.
Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. The lizard people. The lizard people. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. The lizard people.
It feeds into the New World Order / like Illuminati idea, but we're gonna focus on lizard people.
Okay. Start off.
I got a story.
For sure. Let's name some celebrities that we know for sure are lizard people.
All right, you go. You start.
Katy Perry.
All right, keep going.
Justin Bieber.
Yep, keep going.
I would like to think, what's his name? Stephen Aoki, the
Steve
DJ.
Aoki.
Steve Aoki.
Steven is his professional name.
Is that the guy that throws cakes in everybody's face?
He is.
Yeah.
That's such like a lizard move.
Why?
Because they got to catch you with their tongue.
Why'd you say catch it like that? You gotta catch it. Catch it together.
They gotta catch up with that tongue. I thought he was saying Kakashi from Naruto. What else? I want to say Johnny Depp's ex-wife.
Oh.
She.
You think Johnny Depp found out and that's why he's like, nah.
No, I think he almost found out, and he was getting on her case, and she was like, "I'm gonna fuck your life up."
He's like, hey, why do you keep eating these flies? Like, I have great food right here. You just stop.
Why do you think lizards eat flies?
I just feel like they do. They're like
That's a
related
frog.
No, but they're related to frogs, aren't they? Are lizards related to frogs?
It's part of the reptile family, right?
Yeah.
But doesn't mean that these are alien lizards. These are like the big motherfuckers.
Yeah, why don't you explain what the lizard people are?
So if none of you guys have seen lizard people, think of like a baby gecko standing up.
The Geico commercial
I feel like
gecko.
they're very.
Yeah.
I feel like they're a lot bigger than that.
Yes. I'm saying that like the scales, Argonians, if you guys like fantasy, Argonians are considered lizard people. So Argonians is basically any type of Argonian you see is a type of lizard person, and that's what they actually look like. But they are able to shapeshift and change themselves to look like humans. But since they have such a high intellectual power, they know what's like popping. They know how to make, like obviously make good music, because Justin Bieber, is always getting out those hits. But they just know how to be on top, and they rule the government. They rule anything you can think of. They just rule.
So
the whole world.
the idea of the lizard people is that it's a species of lizards that are able to do everything Dalton just said, and they rule the world. They control the media, they control the government, and they're really like the Illuminati is essentially like they're
Made
puppets.
up, yeah.
Made up of them, right?
They're called the Anunnaki. They're popularized by David Icke, who thinks they are deities or like some kind of watcher angels that are lizards and can shapeshift.
Yeah, and I think that's super interesting, because I feel like everybody when they first hear this, they're gonna go, no, like that's
there's
stupid.
no way.
Take a moment. Honestly, take a moment. Give yourself an open mind. This is a Drum and Drummer, for Christ's sakes. Like, keep an open mind. And research it. Like, take time to watch YouTube videos, watch the evidence on it. Like, yeah, I mean, Justin Bieber and Katy Perry, like obviously we're not going to question it. They're obviously Argonians, but like everybody else, like the concept of understanding like how they were involved in the Egyptian era, or what's that called? I'm not going to say Egyptian era, but like the time of the pyramids, pretty much. I don't know how to say it, when that time was.
Ancient times.
Ancient
Egyptian Egypt, ancient Greece.
We'll call it Assassin's Creed origin times.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed origin time, and you can see, I think you can even see like in types of descriptions of like how they would draw like on like hieroglyphics, on there, they would have like examples of these lizard people on there, and it's super unique. They look very different than the normal people that they would draw. And so we're just slaves to lizard society. And so pretty soon we'll all be slithering around drinking tequila.
Oh, yeah.
And they're probably really good drinkers, by the way.
Fun fact. So I tend to end up on conspiracy theory TikTok quite a bit.
Isn't it the funnest
It
TikTok
is,
experience?
but I only watch TikTok at night, and I was telling Dad this the other day. I have a really hard time going to bed after I watch these things. I think like our childhood and everything you all just heard in October has really scarred me because I watch a couple and I just can't go back to sleep. So anyways, and also I, for whatever reason, assume aliens and lizard people just means like imminent death. And I don't necessarily think I'm wrong, but it just helps me not stop touching your microphone.
Sorry.
Well, you're not wrong, because they found that, let me find it, that we have neurons in our brain that only respond to snakes.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a fear-based neuron that could explain why we
like there's so many people that have phobias of snakes.
Yes.
And it's because we were slaves to the lizard
Yes.
people, and is an evolutionary thing for us to be afraid of them.
It's in our mindset.
So what's funny is I ended up on conspiracy theory TikTok the other
I feel
day.
like this isn't going to be funny.
And I watched some things about the lizard people, and there's this guy, and he's like, hey,
Cheesehead guy?
no, I like him, but his
I have a hard time with
content's
him.
good, but
I get it,
God,
I get
he's
it.
annoying.
Yeah. He's loud.
Anyways, so I watched it, and it's like, you watch the whites of this person's eyes, and it's a news reporter. And so basically this guy blinks, and he like shifts, and you see lizard eyes, and then, they play it. There's a graphic designer that's like, no, that's called this. It happens when editing, right? So then I see that, and then I walk out, and I see my beautiful girlfriend doing her thing. And so I go over naturally to bother her, and I like push her, and I start tickling her.
Nice.
She blinks, and I see the whites of her eyes. And I literally had to sit there, and I was like, did she just like shift into a lizard person? Am I dating a lizard person right now? And when I tell you that I legitimately had to like stop and sit down for at least 5 to 10 minutes and think if Monique was a lizard person, bro,
God.
I decided I can't go on conspiracy theory TikTok. I've been swiping past them. I really want to watch, but it's affecting my relationship. So
I feel like that's going to affect me and her relationship as well.
dude, I don't know if she's a lizard person or not. She might be.
I really have to question it now. Now I got to actually look in it. Like, do the facts. First of all, what do lizards hate? What do lizards hate?
Well, I hear some signs of a lizard person. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Good eyesight and hearing.
She has great eyesight, great hearing.
Hearing's whatever.
She just doesn't want to hear your bullshit. That's different.
Red hair.
Almost.
Love of space.
She does love her space.
Low blood pressure.
Lowest.
Unexplained scars on the body. Psychic abilities. Compassion for the fate of humankind. Predominance of green or hazel eyes, and they change color like a chameleon, but also blue eyes. All right? Just throw brown in there. Why not?
That's a quote. That's a quote from the website of how to determine if someone's a lizard person.
And a sense of not belonging to the human race. So along the lines of saying like, I just feel like I'm different.
Unique.
If you're built different,
You're built
you could
different.
be a lizard person.
I feel like that has a different meaning in... never mind.
So those are some signs of a lizard person. So take your significant other, anybody of authority in your life, and run them through all of these. And if you're ginger, I'm sorry, you're just a lizard person.
And how many... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5...
And if this if this is how you have to find out, this is how you have to find out. All right.
I don't know, Matt. You've got some pretty psychic abilities too. It's kind of sus.
I feel like Mo has like 8 out of 9 of these.
Yeah, dude, too many.
I feel like Mo is the Lizard King. Queen.
Lizard Queen.
They're also meant to be a global ruling class who is like responsible in order to keep
Like
control.
Yeah.
They create every conflict, and they are on both sides.
The Anaki are the bad people. The Anaki are the bad guys.
The good and bad guys.
Not necessarily. I've heard Anaki are mainly the bad guys, but the people that the tall whites that live underneath us are the good people. They're the gods that we look up to. They're the reason why we believe in a higher power, because we saw them. They did all these things for us. They're called the Great Whites, and they live underneath us. And the Anaki ruled the top floor.
I wonder if that's the same as LA's lizard people. LA has its own theory of lizard people.
Really?
You know, remember that one? Fuck, what was it from? One of our presidents was giving a speech, and they had this bodyguard. Was it Obama?
It was Obama.
Obama was giving a speech, and there was a bodyguard, and his face, like the way they shot the camera and everything, it was a crazy video of him, and he just looked like a lizard. Like he legitimately looked like a lizard. His whole face shape was different than everybody else's, and like it didn't seem like, you know, sometimes you get like the grittiness of the camera where everything's kind of like shaped. Not this one. This one was like it just looked very like there was no reason why the lighting could have been off on it. It was very weird, and I remember watching that video over and over again.
Like the lizard people go back and they see that video, and like that person gets scolded. He's like, "Come on, bro. This is like shapeshifting 101. Like you can't just fucking make a human face. Like do I need to send you back?"
Who's to say that the lizard people aren't responsible for the Mandela effect
or 2020?
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong.
I'm just saying, just think about this. If the Anaki were in charge of everything from the beginning point of time, right? Think about this. They're in charge of everything. So everything they do is planned. They know what they're doing from the start. Why the fuck are you laughing so much?
Because David put a fucking comment right here. And it says, I don't know. When asked if he was a lizard, Mark Zuckerberg said, "I am not a lizard." Pretty sus if you ask me.
That's hella sus, David. I agree. That is hella sus. But what I'm saying is, back to my point.
Yep.
Everything they do is planned.
Mm-hmm.
They control the social media aspects. They control what we see on TV. They control what we hear on the radio. They control what we do in our daily lives. They're controlling us, you know, for the coronavirus, right? Like they might have made it happen, you know, and now they're like trying to see how many people they could take out and see who's the strong will survive, stuff like that, yada yada. I'm just saying, like, it's possible that they're letting us see them more and more and more, as is to see how our reaction will be, and to slowly bring us back so they can stop hiding themselves and they can make us the slaves they want us to be.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then we're back to making pyramids.
So we've just gone over all of it, but is it canon?
I say yes. I think it's canon.
Oh, it's so canon. I mean, I don't know. If you guys ever have time and you guys are tired of fucking watching Hulu shit, get this thing called Gaia. It'll open your eyes and open your...
What is Gaia?
Gaia is a yoga. It's made to look like a yoga app, but when you actually go into it, it literally has documentaries on documentaries on documentaries on the Area 51, on aliens, on the tall whites, the great whites.
So it's all the like conspiracy theory documentaries.
Everything you could ever want to learn in documentary form with scientists, with people who have experienced these things. And it's all like, there's not really a lot of like, it's not Hollywood-esque. Like they don't show like live examples. It's them explaining it and them putting them into like charts and stuff as to why this works, how it can happen again, and why it's happening now. And they talk about everything you could think of, and even things you've never heard of, and they really teach you about everything. So I think it's super cool. You guys should check out Gaia. It's just an app you can buy. You can pay like I think $12 a month for it, but it's dope.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I think
double canon.
It's totally canon.
Double canon. That's There's things that I thought you would have said were canon that you haven't, and this was one that I thought you would not say was canon.
Oh, dude,
That you
I've been
both
so
have said is
convinced.
canon.
I've been so convinced of this for so long.
Yeah, he's been convinced for a while. I'm more of a more recent, like, all right, I can see it.
All right.
Just there's so much things going on in this world, man. Like I'm trying to find a reason. I'm just gonna blame the fucking lizards.
All right. Well, Matt, what are you squaring up with this week?
What am I squaring up with this week? I'm squaring up with Humpty Dumpty.
That bitch fell off the wall.
And Humpty Dumpty is what I call my car that broke down. I am carless, people. So it turns out that if you've been following this for any time, you've probably heard that I've had a lot of cars. And I consistently have car troubles, which I don't know why. It just keeps happening. However, this car problem was I was driving on the freeway. I got this large clunk in my car. It kicked super hard. It wouldn't let me out of first gear. Took it to a mechanic. Said it needed to take it to the dealership. Took it to the dealership as I thought it was a transmission issue because I've already had this transmission replaced in my car. And the car, for everybody out there, do not buy a 2013 Ford Focus because the transmission goes out. There's been a bunch of recalls on it. And also, so I get a call from the dealer and I'm like, hey, what's going on with my car? And they say, Matt, what's wrong with your car is your clutch. So you need a new clutch. In my head, I'm like, that's an easy fix. All right, cool. I'm out a couple $100. Should be a quick, easy fix. I'll get it back. And so then I say, how much is the clutch? He says $4,000. And then I go, $4,000? And he goes, yeah. But he's saying it as if it's normal. I'm like, that's so fucking expensive for a clutch. Like, what the hell? So then I hang up, and then I call my dad because he has a good mechanic. I'm like, hey, call the mechanic and ask him why the clutch is $4,000. As it would turn out, the 2013 Ford Focus has a transmission that has the clutch inside the transmission. They didn't do this with the 2012 or the 2014, only the exact year that I bought. So, needless to say, I don't have a car right now. I will hopefully be getting one soon. I think I have something figured out. But that's my square up with the week is with my 2013 Ford Focus.
So funny.
Dalton, what are you squaring up with this week, bro?
Oh, here's my dilemma. So, I mean, I'm not a big fan of button-ups. But the biggest reason why is the top button. Nobody can fucking tell me that if they got a thick neck like I do, that they can fucking put that top button on. It's literally impossible to do by yourself.
Why don't you just leave it on button?
That's the thing. Is I don't know. I like to see a button up all the way. Not normally for like obviously when I'm going out, like I'll undo it. But it's like I just want the satisfaction of seeing it all put together. It's more of a personal thing. Like I don't need to show off anybody, but I just want to button it all up together, all the way to the top, and just see how it looks. I know I won't like it, but I just have to do it. And it takes me 5 to 10 minutes to get this top one, and it hurts your fingers. Mm-hmm. It's the worst thing in the world. Yeah. Top button is bullshit. Why do they put it there if you can't fucking do it?
Do you think it would help if like they like made it like slightly bigger? You think you'd be able to get like?
I think it would look stupider. Mm-hmm. I already think the button up there is pointless. So why do they do it to tease me? You know what I mean? Like I have to put it all the way up there. So why are they doing it to tease me and know that like, oh, he probably can't do it. It's going to hurt his fingernails, but we're going to do it anyways. You know? And then when you have dress shirts, you've had this problem. I've had this problem. We all had this problem. We have to put the tie on, but you have to button up everything to put the tie on.
Yeah, that top one is a
Come on. You can't tell me you haven't gotten really fucking pissed off about it.
Yeah.
I'm getting fired up talking about it, baby.
So what that means is that you should buy the next size up when you buy your dress shirts.
I like to look good in my shirt, so it has to be fitted.
Just get it tailored. Just buy a size up and get it tailored.
I get it fitted.
That's what tailored is.
It's still thick on my neck. What?
You can get it fitted, but just get a size up and then go get it tailored.
That's so much more work. I just want to buy the shirt and have it fit me. Why would I not?
I do not want to hear you talk about clothes not fitting you right.
Why?
Because I have the thighs of somebody that has a 42-inch waist. And I have the leg length of somebody that has a 20.
Grab your dick.
Shut up.
Chill.
Shut up.
Shit, dude.
All right.
Grab your dick.
Whoa, dude of the week. Or David, what are you squaring up with this week?
I'm squaring up with coronavirus. But for
coronavirus?
For a very specific reason.
All right, what's that?
So I've recently just gotten to reading more nonfiction books. And that was started with like subtle art and stuff.
I get confused with this. Nonfiction is fake?
Nonfiction's real.
Yeah, nonfiction is real life stuff.
Oh, okay.
Fiction is fake. But I I don't know exactly what I want to read next. And when I come to that, I usually stroll the library aisles.
The Witcher.
And I go to the library and I walk down and I check out. I'm like, what looks good? I can't do that right now because all the libraries are closed.
You can do that. Go on Amazon, go to the book section, and then just
scroll,
scroll.
bro.
I don't know if my library has Amazon books. I want to check these books out.
You can
Like
do
on-
a
on,
thing
like,
where
the
you can
Amazon-
preview and you can read and do the same thing you would do in a normal bookstore.
Even better yet, it reads to you.
But if it's on Amazon, that doesn't mean that it's at my library.
Oh, Amazon's connected to Audible.
I think
That brings us to our-
David doesn't. David, no, we're not sponsored by Audible yet. But David likes to actually read the books.
Well, David, suck it up.
It says the dude who is too mad to put the top button on his shirt.
It's a legitimate problem, and more people than me have it. Okay.
All right, that's who I'm
all right,
squaring up with this
All
week.
right, squaring up with library. I'm sorry I feel like we shot down David squaring
No,
up
I
with-
just feel like there's plenty of ways to solve that issue.
There is. There's plenty of issues to solve, ways to solve all our issues.
Not mine.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think we all complained a little bit, but
This
it's
is
okay.
this is our time to vent.
Our
We
time
can
to
vent
vent.
about whatever we want.
Yeah.
All right.
Tacos.
All right. What's the next one, David?
Oh, hold on.
Oh, God.
One quick segment.
Oh, also square up with,
Enchiladas are just wet burritos. Why do we deal with enchiladas? They're just a wet burrito. Why don't we just have a wet
He's
burrito?
brought this up to me multiple times, and I don't know how to answer
Is
this
this your
question.
woe dude?
This is my woe, dude.
Your woe dude of the week.
I thought about this yesterday, and it's been stuck in my head.
You know what? I probably could have answered that if I'd been able to get an enchilada when we went to Taco Bell. That's who else I'm squaring up with this week. Taco
That's
Bell
a good
only
square up.
takes cash.
Yeah,
That's a total good square.
It wasn't taking a credit card.
It
Yeah.
only takes
Messed up.
cash during a coin shortage.
Square up, Taco Bell.
A coin shortage.
But I mean, I
A
can
coin shortage.
I can get behind that, but enchiladas smell really gross, so I won't get behind that.
You don't like
love
enchiladas? Okay, no, I
They
love
taste
enchiladas.
good. They smell awful. They smell like after you finish the bathroom before you eat it.
Well, who the fuck is making your enchiladas?
I want
dog?
to change my square. I'm squaring up with you, David. That is not right.
Like, do I think enchiladas are like just a smaller wet burrito? Yes. But also, like, enchiladas are very good, and I think you're very wrong for thinking that.
I like
All right.
eating them.
What is your woe dude of the week, Dalton?
Wait, what's this?
Crazy facts or stories?
That was it. That enchiladas
was-
are wet burrito.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna stick with that. I want everyone to really focus on that.
All right. David, what's your woe dude of the week?
Matthew doesn't have one yet.
My woe dude of the week is finding that the Greenland shark exists, and they're 500 years old.
What's the Greenland shark?
It's a shark.
Oh, no shit.
Don't say
Sherlock.
that.
Is it in Greenland?
I don't know if it is. I know it's 500 years old. So this thing has been around since This thing has been around since King Arthur.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wait, hold on. How old is it?
500
years old.
That seems way too short for it to be King Arthur time.
See, Dalton, but your idea of counting is very off. Like, so your 500 is actually way longer than what it is in your head.
Not on camera, Matt.
The way I found out about that was because I saw that they made a new Shark Boy and Lava Girl movie.
Did they really?
Yes.
No.
Taylor Lautner is not reprising his role as Shark Boy.
Why? Who's
for
Lava
him.
Girl? Wait, who's Lava
foot
Girl?
down.
The same girl.
Oh, she got. Is this a sequel?
Yeah.
There's a sequel?
They have a-
Nostalgia,
they have a-
everybody.
they have a child.
Bro, no, I love that.
I know
Okay,
you
yeah,
did.
total nostalgia. Yeah. I love that movie.
Matt, what's your woe dude of the week?
My woe dude of the week is that there are scientists that found tiny little like organisms or worms, and they were frozen. They found them in Antarctica.
Did they scream in water?
And they took it to the lab and they thawed them out, and a handful of them came to life and are now moving around.
What?
Yep.
What do you feed worms?
I don't know, but it's like
How big are they?
little.
But they're how old?
They're like microscopic, but they're like 30,000 years old or some shit. Like super, super, super old. Like ancient old. They thawed them out. They've been frozen for X amount of years. They thawed them out, and then they came to life.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like that was before King Arthur.
Yeah. Wow. All right, dude. Dalton, you want to ask the last one?
What got you stoked this week, bro? What?
Start with you.
Don't
you want
fucking
to
point
start?
at me. Fucking.
I thought I'd go last. What got me stoked this week When I was also at that place, I was meeting up with this old friend Liz, who I used to work at Disneyland with.
Nice.
She's explaining how all the furniture she got from dumpster diving.
Nice.
Like all you do is go behind Pier 1, Bed Bath & Beyond, all these furniture places. Most of the time, they just throw out the stuff.
Just throw away the display set.
Sometimes they destroy them, but like sometimes the most they do is spray paint them. So if you know how to restore furniture, even basic, you can get a lot of free stuff. And so like we learned the chairs we were sitting on, Pier 1, and it was just repainted and all done. So
honestly, like
That's cool.
that's like a dream
Yeah.
to like be able to work at a furniture shop, be like, okay, you can throw this out, and be like, you can destroy it. Oh, that's like a dream of mine. I would love to destroy furniture.
free stuff always gets you stoked.
That is true. What got me stoked this week? Honestly, that book that I've been reading that kind of tied into the whole mindfulness thing. I just like the idea of being able to improve and always get better, and like being able to put out what I want into the universe and having it like come back, living expectantly. So that got me pretty stoked this week.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. What got you stoked this week?
What got me stoked this week was this droid, my B1 battle droid that's up there right now. He's coming back together, man. He's going to be a huge set piece for anything we do in this podcast. If anyone wants to argue with me, they can fight me. I will fight back, and I will not let you win, because that is going to be the coolest motherfucking thing that we have. I'm so fucking excited to get this whole thing put together. And thank you to our producer, David, that I'm paying to do this. So I don't have to say thank you to get this done.
So you retract your thank you.
I said thank you for the podcast, but retracted it after for friendship. So that's going to be really dope. I'm super excited for the future and what I can do with that. What kind of weird ass shit I can put on the droid.
You know what got us both stoked this week? Is this sign. This sign is so freaking cool. And it can change colors.
This sign?
You gotta point it at it.
This. I mean,
Point it at the D.
Why are you so bad?
that sign? That sign? I like the green. That was nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, so been super cool about that. Super stoked on that. But yeah, so there we go.
Pretty dope.
All right, everybody. If you made it this far into the podcast, thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it. Go ahead and follow us on all of our social media platforms at Drum Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok. And follow us on our YouTube channel, Drum and Drummer. Make sure you use the and symbol. Don't type in the word and. And if you're watching this, click the subscribe button below. Hit the notifications. If there's anything of interest, we will leave the TikTok handle for our friend in the description below. And as always, everybody stay safe. And when you're watching this, happy Black Friday.
Happy Black Friday, everybody. Stay safe.
Happy Thanksgiving, too.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
It's basically going to be Cyber Monday on Friday, because I don't think a lot of people are going to be doing the whole shopping thing. But yeah,
it's gonna be
be
interesting.
safe either way.
Be safe, have fun, eat lots of food. And as always, we will see you guys next week. Until then, I'm Drum.
And I'm Drummer.
We'll see you guys then. Bye.
Bye.